So, Dr. Kelly here. I got my glasses from today, and I've never done a live Facebook streaming, so this is all new to me. But I had an awesome day today celebrating the solar eclipse with my daughter and my husband, and just to watch that sun come over, or the moon come over the sun, and we didn't experience total darkness. It was like 93% here today in Boulder. I thought it was going to get totally dark. So anyway, it was a really cool energy. But what I'm really aware of, and it has been on my mind for over a week, actually, I guess it's been a couple weeks, is this Usher scandal. And you know, what's happening, for those of you who don't know, this has caused a lot of stress and anxiety within the community. And for people who don't know any better, they don't know any better. So it's time to get out of the shadow, you know, take the glasses off, because you know we need to shed some light on this incredibly common infection, and let's get really real about it. We're talking about, for most people, which is what herpes is for them, is a common rash. And so anyway, so a couple weeks ago, I got noticed through Google that that Usher, who's a great pop star, I actually really like his music. I don't really listen to it that often, but I do know of him, and I know his music. And it came out that people were filing lawsuits against him. And the lawsuits are, what I know of now is 4 people have come forward. One woman who is incredibly has come forward saying that he slept with her, did not disclose his status, and while she did not get the infection, it was not transmitted to her. She felt that because in the state of California, if you don't disclose, then you know, Usher is definitely, there's a problem there of him not disclosing. And then other people have come forward. So up to date, what I do know is 3 women have come forward, and 1 man has come forward as far as being with Usher. So what's the real problem here? Well, first of all, absolutely, I do believe that there has to be disclosure, but it brings up a lot of gray area. And actually, you can find people talking about this in herpes online communities. You can hear people and their own experience of what this means to them, or what Usher should or shouldn't do, or it's my understanding that he hasn't come forward with a statement. So we really don't know if he has been diagnosed, and or if he has it, or did he disclose, or did he not disclose. So it really becomes an issue also of, first of all, as I said, from a place of integrity, if you know you have this diagnosis, it is up to you. It's the right thing to do. And in the state of California, in some places, it's required by law that you do disclose that you have this diagnosis. So from that aside, you know, I'm in total agreement. And I believe where the laws came from is when, you know, many years ago, when HIV, I think the laws were put in place with HIV and AIDS, which is something you can actually die from, versus herpes, it is a skin rash, and people don't die from it. As I said, incredibly common in women. About 1 in 4 women have it, and about 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 men, depending on what statistics you're talking about. So incredibly common. Another statistics most people don't know is 85% of people who have it, they don't know that they have it. You know, doctors are misdiagnosing it because, and people who actually have the diagnosis don't know that they have it, because it can come up as just like an itching or a tingling, thinking that it's a urinary tract infection. Or so again, these are the facts. This is something so common, and yet the media is blowing up about it. Okay, and in my opinion, I've had people say that they actually think that they're, you know, coming forth against Usher, maybe a racist thing. I don't think that that's the case. I think Usher is a man who has made a lot of money, and so of course he's a key target. People are chasing, obviously, you know, the money. And in addition, I do think that there's this ethical issue of disclosing. Now, here's where the gray area comes, and that is let's say, hi, sweetie, that's my daughter in the back peeking through. She's wondering what this Facebook Live thing is, and we're all learning. This is all new. But to circle back, what Dr. Drew brought to our attention too is that you know, it is so common. So many people have it, don't know it. So let's say two parties come together in intimacy, and let's say that there is disclosure, that the person who has it definitely discloses and does the right thing. Let's say that couple then breaks up, and it would be very easy to have a he said, she said, that, you know, she didn't disclose, and when in fact that she does. And really, so it comes back to what can also be a, you know, a question of, was it disclosed, was it not disclosed? Again, there's a lot more information on Pink Tent around the facts around this diagnosis. This is what I'm passionate about. It's time that we show a bright light on this. There's so much stigma in this diagnosis. So that's a little bit about my reaction, is whether or not Usher even knows he has it. As I said, it's so common. Maybe he didn't know that he had it. But let's also talk about the community's reaction and people who don't have it and what their reaction should be, or what good it has been. And so for the community, there was Ella Dawson, who recently did a live post and a Facebook Live. In fact, she encouraged, you know, her post encouraged me to get on this Facebook Live and just share what I know, because I want to empower people. So again, speaking in terms of the community, it's brought up a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. In fact, so much stress that there are people out there that you know, have this diagnosis, and they're worried. First of all, they're worried that their secret's going to get out, or they're worried that, what are people going to think? They walk into a room just like a normal person, wonder, do the people in the room know that I have this? I mean, there's so much fear around this, so much shame. And oh, it's so cool watching all you people join. I can see it in your comments. If you want to jump in and place a comment, I'll try to respond. This is all new to me. But you know, people are having to increase their medication because of the stress. They're worried about, you know, previous partners that maybe they didn't know that they had it and they didn't disclose to, and what's the right thing to do, and what's the legal responsibility. So I'm not a lawyer, so I you know, from the legal standpoint, I know that each state is different, but let's talk about the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to disclose. The right thing to do is take personal responsibility of your health. So if you've not been tested, go out and get tested. It's a pretty easy test. If you have never had symptoms, you can get a blood test. And I encourage people that are coming together and being intimate to go ahead and get tested. As I said, it is, oh, Tom Downey says, ho. Well, ho back to you. So hello to you, Tom Downey. So glad that you joined. And so anyway, so that's a little bit about how our community has responded. We responded from mostly a place of fear, of what if people find out? What if people, you know, think poorly of me? There's so many people like myself. I was diagnosed in my early 20s, which spurred this book, Live, Love, and Thrive. And it was a really scary time for me. And I was not promiscuous. And anyway, this is my new edition. If you guys are just joining and you're new to our Pink Tent community, which is all about educating and empowering people, you can download a free copy of my new edition. Use the code Usher. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Usher and this scandal, but I wanted to use this as an opportunity to empower people, you know, to let them know that you can live and you can love and you can be in really healthy relationships. This diagnosis isn't a deal breaker. Now, for those of you who are on the other side of the camp and know nothing about this diagnosis, you know, if you are an intimate being, a human being that is intimate, that you have been, I guarantee you've been exposed to it. Whether you have it or not, you have been exposed. This is a diagnosis that is transmitted through skin-to-skin contact, often with a lot of friction. So you can't get it from toilet seats. You know, you can't get it from hugging somebody or shaking their hand or sharing a water glass or utensils. So it's really important that you get the facts. And bottom line, for most people, it's just a rash. In fact, it's part of a family of viruses part of the herpes family of viruses that causes things like chicken pox. You know, how common is chicken pox? It's well, with the vaccines, we're probably seeing less chicken pox. Oh, cool! I get to see the love hearts. I think if you click a heart, that I can feel your love. So that would be kind of cool. I'm seeing more and more people join, which is exciting. But yeah, getting the facts. If you're sexually active, get tested. You know, also know that using a condom does not protect you. It does not protect you at 100%. So what the issue really is, it's about education. It's about education and taking personal responsibility of our health, to also to be compassionate, you know. And there's so many jokes out there. I do see them. In fact, I was talking to a woman today saying that she's in medical school, actually down in Puerto Rico, and someone had undergone surgery, and there was a card and said something like, you know, at least you don't have herpes. So the jokes are out there, and yet we don't see jokes like this anymore around HIV and AIDS. And I think the difference is the HIV AIDS community did an awesome job at beginning to educate people about, you know, this could be your brother, this could be your sister, this could be your best friend that has this. And so it really brought a humanness. Herpes dates back, I've been told, dated back to dinosaur age. In fact, animals get herpes. And so it's incredibly common. It's just a rash. Yes, for some people in that initial infection phase, in the very beginning, it can cause flu-like symptoms. You know, it can cause, you know, an achiness. It can be difficult to urinate, or it can cause burning and tingling. But for most people, that is the first outbreak, and after that, it becomes more manageable. This is something you can live and learn and love with. You know, I was diagnosed with mono when I was a kid. I remember I got very sick. In fact, my mom was worried, and oh, I'm seeing the love! Yay, that's so cool. My mom was worried. My spleen was a bit enlarged, so my doctor was really concerned about me. And yet, people don't get freaked out about having a history of mono. Or what about older people that are diagnosed with shingles? Right? There's not the stigma. It's still part of the family of viruses called herpes. And yet, that for some reason, and I think part of it, honestly, is the fact that this is a sexually transmitted virus. That's why people get so freaked out. Thank you, Trudy, for joining. Yes, thank you. So, you know, it's time, again, you know, let's get out of the shadows. You know, let's take the glasses off. Let's get real with this. I mean, you know, what is it really? It's not an epidemic in the sense that it's going to cause anything else. The CDC clearly states that the doctors and healthcare professionals are not required to send, if someone is diagnosed with a positive diagnosis for herpes, they are not required to report this to the CDC, because you know, it doesn't cause anything. It doesn't cause anything else. So there's a lot of underreporting, and there aren't many people that are brave enough to stand in their power and talk about the truth. You know, pinktent.com was generated from a place of passion. It started as a place to really, it actually started with talkaboutherpes.com, and it was just a place for women to go to just share what was on their hearts. I've talked to women and men that are suicidal over this, you know. So if you do have someone that you really care about that has this diagnosis and they're freaking out, let them know that everything can be okay. I mean, you know, I thought that no one was ever going to love me again, and that I would ever be able to have children. I'm happily married, and this has not been a deal breaker. And so what I want to do is educate the community to really know the truth. Because when you know the truth, you can become empowered. You can discover that love. I mean, for me, with a lot of the women that I coach, if you're interested in coaching, by the way, you can go to pinktent.com/coaching. I do complimentary sessions to see if there's a good fit for you there. We also run online courses. Again, I've got the release of my new book. promo code, I'm saying for now, Usher. I don't know how long this will last, but I'm passionate about educating people and destigmatizing, increasing acceptance, increasing compassion. Everybody has something. And what a day for me to do my first live Facebook video on the day of the eclipse, where actually our community, our country, what a cool time. Our country is coming together. And, you know, this is an opportunity to heal the wounds, to heal, you know, parties that are coming apart. And it seems like, you know, sometimes it seems like things are falling apart, and sometimes they have to fall apart before they come together. So that's why I have to admit, I was a little nervous coming on Facebook Live. I didn't know what it would look like, and I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I'm standing in my power so that you can stand in yours. This doesn't have to be a conversation just about herpes. This is a conversation in standing up for what you believe and bringing people together and healing deeper. And so this is what I'm passionate about. And so again, I'm so excited. I just relaunched my new edition of my book. And if you haven't gotten it yet and you're just joining, I see more people are joining. Go to pinktent.com/book and promo code Usher to get your free download. So as a community, you know, when you see anything about Usher coming back, you know, I would love to share my passion for getting people educated to actually spread this positive message. Because that's how we're going to destigmatize it. That's how we're going to get real. That's how we're going to stand in our truth. It's not going to be from hiding in the shadows. It's about bringing the light. It's about being vulnerable. As Brene Brown says, you know, vulnerability is our greatest asset. Anyone out there that knows Brene Brown, I would love to interview her. In fact, we've got some really beautiful things in the background, wanting to bring people who are passionate about helping people to overcome things like this. Because in the end of the day, you know, it's about learning to love yourself and to stand in your power and to connect on a deeper level. So that's what I have for you this evening. This has been really fun. I would love to get this message of acceptance out into the community, to get the right messages out there. So if you know of specifically any radio stations, like what's your local radio station? I would love to share, you know, is there a comment that you could, in these threads around this Usher scandal? You know, I say scandal because why is it a scandal? It's because it's a man with, you know, a lot of reach and a lot of money, so he makes the news. But what about your everyday person, that person that's struggling in the shadows? So the little thing that you can help me to do is to spread this word as a resource. You know, let's get this book for free in the hands of as many people as we can. I'm here to help. And, you know, pinktent.com is a passion project for me. I'm all about creating hope and healing and happiness for people to overcome any challenges. Obviously, my specialty is herpes, but I'd love to get in front of people, helping them to overcome their shame and to embrace self-love. It's been a journey. I was diagnosed when I was in my early 20s, and it rocked my world. And so now I'm passionate about joining and sharing, and any ideas that you all have as a community for me to share, so that we can increase acceptance and get over, you know, this big fear of herpes. It's a virus. It's a virus. It's a rash. You know, and it is the same virus that causes cold sores. And let's get over it. And when I say let's get over it, I'm not compassionate. I'm not compassionate. There are people out there that do have a really tough time with this. It's not as common, but there are things that you can do. You know, you can learn how to eat more healthy. You can learn how to improve your immunity. You can join our community. We have a forum, and it's free. It's a forum where women can share, you know, what is it that you're challenged by, so that we can support you. But this is not a conversation. There is no cure. This is about coming into community. In fact, the only cure, in my opinion, right now is community. Is about taking off the glasses, getting out of the shadow. You know, take one baby step today and stand in a place of power and do something that scares you. And again, you can download a free copy of my book, pinktent.com/Usher, and let's get the word out so we can support this community. There doesn't have to be fear. We can replace fear with love. We can really make a difference. And so that's all I have for you tonight. I think that's it. So thank you for sharing, and I would love to see, for you to make a comment. The new book, Trudy just asked, what's the new book? It's the same book. It's the same book, but we've updated it. In fact, one of the big shifts, thank you for asking, one of the shifts that we made is chapter 2 is totally revamped, because I've learned in this journey, I've learned throughout this course of starting this community, and my viewpoints have shifted from a place of I came out in the beginning thinking that it was all about holistic management, but here's what I've learned, is that everyone has to learn what's going to work best for them. So for some people, this is going to be taking antivirals. For some people, this is going to be about cleaning up their diet. For some people, it's going to be about healing those wounds of shame, or those wounds of isolation, feeling all alone. Like there are opportunities here that are endless for really deep healing and to have an awesome life. So that's what I'm gonna stand for. So anyway, it's the same book, it's an updated edition. And so chapter 2, we really talk about this merging of what I feel is a true holistic approach, which is merging Western medicine with Eastern medicine, creating what I call fusion, which is finding your place, your unique journey, so that you can find your way. There's no one way. There's no one way to overcome this. There is no cure, but there is community. There are ways to get your life back, to get back on track. You might look back on this as a time in your life where it was a game changer. And I've had women tell me that they, for the first time, really started to see the blessings in their lives. They started to become so grateful of the things in their lives that were going well. And some people have lost weight. Some people, you name it, if you look for the silver lining, it's there, I promise you. I do believe that life happens for you, not to you. You might want to write that one down. I love that one. I didn't make it up. But life happens for you, not to you. How do you respond in the challenges of life? The challenges in life, that we can't keep them from happening. We can't put the stop button on stress, but we have power to respond to what's happening in our environment. So this is an invitation to stand in your power. To if you need support, go to Pink Tent. If you need to get educated, maybe your partner just told you have herpes and you don't know where to turn. It's a place to get facts. Download the book. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's my commitment to you so that you can get the right information. So thank you. I notice I'm a little, I'm realizing, wow, that was actually so much easier than I thought. So if you like what I shared, go ahead and like it or comment, or let me know what you'd love to have me FaceTime live about. Again, I'm here to share. I'm here to support. Go to pinktent.com/book. Get your complimentary edition to my new edition, Live, Love, and Thrive with Herpes. But the promo code is Usher. That's how you're going to get it for free. So thank you, signing off. And that was a lot of fun. Happy solar eclipse. All right. Good night.